This episode is sponsored by London Nootropics.
Okay, can we just talk about our new obsession, London Nootropics Adaptogenic Coffee?
Yes, these nootropic coffee blends are total game changers. I've been starting my day with Zen. I take it black, it zaps the brain fog, gives me clarity and actually makes me feel on it.
I am all about flow. It gives me a little bit of caffeine lift, keeps me nice and balanced. No jitters, no crash, just calm, productivity. And can we also just say that the taste is amazing?
And it's all the good quality stuff properly sourced, like KSM 66 ashwagandha, Rodeo Life rhodiola rosea, and potent mushroom extracts exclusively from Hifas de Terra, all with clinical studies, with each blend designed for a specific purpose depending on what you need to help you through the day.
They conveniently come in single-serve sachets, perfect for travel and made in UK, because the purpose of London Nootropics is to help you easily incorporate best-in-class adaptogens into your day deliciously, so we can bring them into the studio or take them with us when we're on the go.
And right now you can get 20% off at londonnootropics.com with the code SELFCARE. Try them today to experience how they can impact your focus, mood and energy and elevate your day.
After just 7 days, 96% of Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream users saw reduced wrinkles and diminished dark circles. Shop now at Sephora and discover how change can happen in the blink of an eye. Consumer tested by 110 women.
I was deep in it, gaming on Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. Unfolding the screen made it twice as big and so immersive, I kinda lost myself. Might have trolled a little too close to the sun. Someone in the chat told me to touch grass, so I took my Z Fold 7 outside and kept playing. Still won, got a tan, and a nice little reset. Powerful processor, realistic graphics, you stay locked in, streak stays alive. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Hello everybody, I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Laura Mishcon and this is Self-Care Club.
Today we are delving back into the world of crystal healing. We've done this before and here we find ourselves again. This is what we're doing now, we're just repeating wellness.
Well, it was 3.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a little different. That was a crystal healing and this is more of a crystal intuitive reading, I'm going to say.
Well, what I like about us revisiting things is that we did it with the LED masks, right? But things change and things move on and things evolve. Just human beings do, products do, crystal healing does. So we've revisited, because why not? We are delighted to be joined by someone who really knows her crystals and knows what it means to rock at self-care. Emma Lucy Knowles. She is a crystal healer and an author, and she helps people tap into the energy of crystals, whether they're looking for healing, grounding, or maybe just an excuse to carry something very pretty than the lint in their pockets. So grab your rose quartz or just a nice cup of tea or coffee and settle in as we dig back into the world of crystals.
International best-selling author Emma Lucy Knowles is a clairvoyant, energy healer, crystal reader and intuitive spiritual coach. After discovering her heightened sensitivity and powerful unexplained senses as a child, she began a journey of learning how to share her gifts with the world. Emma Lucy draws on her rich life experiences and insightful intuition to help people in her global community unlock their personal power and transform their pain into heartfelt success. Emma is the author of 5 books. Her debut book, The Power of Crystal Healing, which was published in 2018, is an international bestseller and has been translated into 10 languages. And this is what Emma Lucy had to say.
Emma, thank you so much for being here and welcome to Self-Care Club.
Oh, thanks for having me.
What first drew you to crystals? Was it like a love at first sight thing or was it more like a slow burn relationship?
Oh, definitely love at first sight, but we're talking really young.
Okay,
so
how young?
I was 7 years old when I kind of danced into my crystal vibrations.
What a lovely way of putting it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like being at a nightclub. I remember like my sister was obsessed with getting these little sweets from the kind of number 81 where I used to live, which is a little shop. And I just used to go in and be like, oh, amethyst. Oh, so I'd spend my money on those sorts of things.
Did you?
Yeah. And my kind of dance into the spiritual world, if it is a world, but a knowing also was kind of coinciding at the same time. So crystals came for me at a time where I was really starting to tune into, or becoming a lot more aware of what I was becoming aware of. So crystals came in and kind of gave me a comfort blanket when everyone else was telling me, you're wrong, you're not understanding that. And they kind of held that space for me so I could say, no, that feels right. This is what this is. This is what I'm knowing. This is what I'm understanding. And yeah, they're like my mates.
What an incredible life skill, though, to nurture that at such an early age.
Yeah.
Do you think you could have done that without the crystals, or the crystals were very just a huge part of your learning?
So the way we'll call it my activation and my awakening happened at about 11. So I was really obsessed with my grandparents growing up, like obsessed. To my mum, how did they die? They both died before I was born.
Right.
Looking for photos, I was like obsessed. I could have been a spy. And they were just like, just died of a broken heart, just let it go. But I was not comfortable with that. And I used to sort of sit in this spot at our house, which was like 2 floors worth of windows, so much light coming in. I used to sit in this one space like a cat. Always had lots of imaginary friends growing up, but this one time I was sat in this space, and it must have been there for like a good hour, and the energy just felt very different. I can give it that sort of language now. At that time it felt different. It felt almost sort of transcendental in that kind of was there, but there was lots more going on. And I always sort of talk about this so effortlessly now because I'm so at peace with it.
Yeah.
So if it sounds quite shocking when I say it, I kind of apologise. It's just because I've integrated it. But my granddad visited me, shall we say. He'd passed away. Again, I hadn't met him. But it was like a tracing paper over my mind. So it was this man walking towards me. I didn't know who he was. And he said, I killed your granny.
What?
Yeah. So at that moment, my body went electric. So it was like having an orgasm. I've still yet to work that one out. But it was like, wow. It went from the base of my spine, ting, 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 boom. So full of joy, ecstasy, this incredible feeling of like connection, knowing, run into my mum, who at this age is 40. Granda kill granny, granda kill granny. She's drying her hair. She drops her hairdryer. We're really close. There's just the 4 of us. We're really small. We'll come to why that is. We're a really tight-knit family. And she's like, no. And then I'm registering. So I'm sort of waking up then from this feeling of, oh my God, you're really upsetting your mum. Like I can feel, we're so close, I could feel it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I am as weird as everybody kind of alludes that I might be. And now I'm making stuff up. So this has got to stop, kid. So this is 11, walk out that room. I'm like, okay, my sister's got it really together. Very popular, really sociable. I'm going to go and try and be like her. That never works. Never works. So,
you can only be like you.
Right. At that age, I then start drinking lots of Coca-Cola, eating loads of sugary drinks, all about comfort. Got very suppressed. I wouldn't say depressed, but it was low in myself because I was trying to be somebody that fit. And the more you try and turn anything like that off, you're like disconnecting from the universe. It's like a piece of your spider web's broken. And couldn't sleep because the more you try to turn it off, the louder it gets. I lived in like copious amounts of old people's homes and places where people had died growing up. So that energy was always coming to me, but then it felt very disturbing instead of being something that was very settling. So the crystals kind of came in a time I could work with then to be like, you know, I don't know why I need you, but I need you. And then several years later, it comes out, you know, he'd had a nervous breakdown. He'd suffered a lot with his mental health. My grandma had gone to leave him. He'd grabbed her by the throat, caught a nerve in her neck, and I always say, put her to sleep. And my mum had found her when she was 24. So this was some 15 years later. Her 11-year-old daughter or whatever is he's reaching out through me to heal that relationship.
Wow.
So that's how that starts.
Okay.
Then we get to my first boyfriend. We weren't together. He dies in a car crash. Best friend dies texting me. Heart just stops. Then I start working with people passing over. And the crystals have always been like the anchor back. I can go for miles in the universe, but I never felt wanted for myself here until I kind of sat in my own energy and decided that I wanted to be that. And the only thing that allowed me to do that and not sit and go, went to an all-girls school, when you've had that level of trauma, all you're looking for in other people is trauma. And if I can fix that before, like, if I can spot where that problem's going to come, I'll feel safe. So they are like my safekeeper and my safeguarder. So I have a lot of respect for them. I feel energy is so important. It says so much more than words.
Doesn't it just?
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And for me, at that tender age, I feel like I've been through a lot, and I feel like I'm really grateful for a lot of that, because that's my tapestry of work that allows me to work with other people. But the bit I always kind of feel like, even though I was missing a bit the self-work, it was always happening because that energy was there in kind of those Mother Nature's goodies.
Wow.
That's the jump.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Blown away by your story.
How do you explain crystal healing to people who are like, yeah, they're just like pretty rocks?
Yeah.
They're rocks, and like they're just made, and sometimes the wind goes over them or they're whatever, and some are smooth and some are, they're just rocks.
Yeah. So everything's energy. We can't deny that. Even the scientists can't deny that. How I'd like to liken it is they are tools. They are not, here's a crystal, everything's fixed.
Yeah.
You want to work with the crystals to align the flow of energy, assisting energy in and out of the body.
Yeah.
So they're vibrating, they're pulsating like we are, but what they don't have is an ego. So they're not judging or overlaying or giving that kind of context. So when you're drawn to something, it's fundamentally because you're either lacking that or you need that crystal to help assist with the flow in or out of that from the energetic body within the senses.
So they choose us or we choose them?
I think it's like friendship. That's why I say it's like that. It's a mutual...
It's a mutual attraction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but when we've got to be okay with letting them go, because when they go missing, it's because I used to train with a guy who used to be a shaman, and they say, or a Cherokee, sorry, when you lose them, you've embodied them. So you don't need them. But we're so like, oh God, where's it gone? It's my lucky charm. It's like, no, you've embodied it. You're
done.
Yeah. The time has come.
I get that. I feel like that with Evil Eye jewellery. Like if it breaks, I would never fix it. I'm like, it's done whatever it needed to do, or absorb or not absorb or protect. It's done its job, and I have to just let it go now.
Yeah. And that's a huge part of the kind of energetic work, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like letting things come, letting things go. We've got really into cling culture, I think crystals got really, really popular for a time. I think they keep having these popularity kind of contests because I'm never surprised by it. So people come to me, oh, they've gotten really popular. I'm like, well, I can talk to a journalist maybe 10 years ago, and she was saying to me she went and spoke to her granny who's 83, and she said she'd been carrying her crystals in her bra.
Yeah.
So they have these it's a constant. It's just, if you're new to it, it then feels like it's having this mad
yes
kind
resurgence.
of
Yeah.
It's not. It's something we used to do. We used to sort of sit out, whether we were playing with crystals, working with crystals, or working with herbs, or any of Mother Nature's goodies. There was a place where we could really learn to connect to ourselves. I think that's the biggest thing that we've lost is connection. And if you can't connect to yourself properly, how can you connect to other people? And that's why I like working with crystals and kids and the parents, because parents are very much trying to get their kids to be, on occasion, adults. So why are they being like that? How's this? And I'm like, they're learning their language now. So let's work. Like we were talking about pets before we came in here, right? You had a way you understand the dog's language.
Yeah.
It's no different to your child. It has its own energetic language before it has a voice.
Yes.
And that bit really needs nurturing, and you need to spend time with them working out what that is for them, and then taking your experience and helping them learn with it rather than thrust it on them and go, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit how you work with crystals? So if someone is coming to see you, how does the session run? How do you incorporate? Are they readings? Is it a healing session? Just tell us a bit about what we can expect.
Yes. So the session you're coming for is more like a reading. So everything I do, I always want to educate. It's tune in, transform. Rather than being like, you have to keep going back to me and I'm going to keep telling you what's good. We'll sit out, we'll put a big table of whatever feels that it wants to be on the table for you in that space, and we'll talk a little about how they work, why they work. Because for me, it's really important that you can go away and you can do that yourself. That you're using this and bringing this into your everyday life rather than just like, oh, it's just a nice to do. And then we'll pick based on how they look, but also pick on how they feel. So which requires like a dowsing. So you close your eyes, come into the breath, and tune into a feeling or a sensation that you're drawn to. And then I will read you based on what you've picked, but emphasis on you've picked it.
Yep.
So it's not me going, I think you need this crystal,
Yep.
which we could do, but it's counterintuitive. You've picked it, and then I'm reading you based on that, and it gives that confirmation, which is like, yes, that's kind of where I was feeling. And sometimes it takes a bit longer because we're not all kind of comfortable straight away with what's been delivered, and it can take 6 months, a year, or kind of that's what I've really learned over time for something to integrate or to come. And also if it challenges you, great. So we'll pick a crystal also that you just don't like the look of. Why?
Spicy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's actually one way avoiding. So in that context, they're those sessions. And then a bigger healing sessions, people coming and laying out, and we'll lay them more on the body. But we do always do a connective piece, or do in your session like a connective meditation at the end, because the feeling's everything. Like you can get so in your head, and people get so like, I've had a million debates with people, or interesting conversations about do they work, don't they work, and I'm like, it's the feeling, it's how they make you feel. And if they just look great and that gives you a great feeling,
then
that's
it's working.
also okay.
Then it's working.
Totally it.
That's okay as well.
It's the alignment factor.
Yeah.
If someone wants to start with crystals, or they want to get some crystals, where should they get them? Where is an ethical place to buy proper crystals? Because I'm sure we can all go on Amazon and type in crystals and there'll be a million things that come up.
Yeah.
But is that the correct place to buy? Like, is there a right and a wrong with it?
It's evolving. So I really feel it's such a kind of unnavigatable space right now, because you can't trace it right back to the first place it was picked up. So there's a few things with that, like the ethical part of that, but also the people who are working with it. If they've touched that crystal, it's leaving a mark. You want to go, just like going to a shop, where feels good. So Etsy's a really good place. Ask questions.
Okay.
If they can tell you how it got to their front door into their shop, great. As best they can, there's that awareness of the path and the mining. I really love Barry at the astrology shop in Covent Garden. So he is a bookshop. So he doesn't mark any of the crystals up, because he just does it for the love of it. He donated all the crystals for like both of my crystal books.
Oh,
for
wow.
nothing.
Did he?
What a guy. He doesn't it's like,
Go Barry.
Yeah. Go Barry. Somebody's like, oh, it doesn't look much when you go. And I'm like, it's magic, that place, because the people in there are magic. So
we have to go.
To the energy.
And they know
I'd
their
love
stuff.
to go. Okay.
They know their stuff.
Yeah.
They know their stuff. And that whole nook used to be such the witching quarters, and they've stayed. There used to be mysteries there. That's moved around the corner now. So, but they've maintained, and I think that's because good vibes, good people.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
What should we expect, or should we expect to feel anything during a session or after a session?
I feel like even if you're feeling something that is like, I'm not feeling anything, you're feeling something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I love
'cause
that.
It's like, it's challenging, it's provoking, and then we can sit with that. So I'm not just going to say, oh, it's this, and then off we go. It's quite conversational and flowing, because I could say something in a certain way that doesn't land with you as such, so we need to unpack it. And I think that's what happens with readings. Like over the past, people either kind of like, oh, that didn't make any sense, and then bit by bit it starts to. Because when someone's reading, we're pulling in, like, it's like the timeline continuum is just like collided into your mind.
Yeah, what are you getting? What's happening to you when you're reading?
It's just like chat, flow, visuals. And it also is very different on the people that you're working with. I'm not saying people have to be overtly open either. Like I said, like my whole approach was, because of my way into this, was like very skeptical of myself, and like I need to prove it. And I was working really hard, and I need to know. But now I have this just trust, and I just let it. It's no different to this work, right? You're in your flow. It's a flow when you're talking.
Well, sometimes we are, and sometimes we are not.
But I don't have anyone. I'm not channeling any, as in I'm not hearing
channeling energy.
I'm channeling energy, but it's my own. I'm not. I don't think no one's coming through me or passing through me through to you.
I'd say I wouldn't necessarily say anyone. Sometimes people and things come in.
Yeah.
But I feel like there used to be a bit of theatrics in that. Like, I'm getting this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do get that, but 9 times out of 10, it's just me being myself, and that's it. I'm a channel. So if I open up to that, then I become the radio station that broadcasts needs that we're tuning into at that time.
You say that you're not channeling, but we're creating an energy together.
Yes.
No, that I totally
and
understand.
Sometimes we create a really bright, vibrant, fun energy, and sometimes it might be heavier and deeper, and so it's always going to be slightly different depending on where we're at.
I found that when I was writing books. Like if I wrote my intuition book.
Oh.
Did I just kill the movie?
Oh, I mean, PTSD from when I wrote that bloody book. Yeah.
But when I was writing something about an old trauma,
Yeah.
and it's the same with clients when they come that morning, I'll start to feel all that energy come. So if I've got like 5 people, you get this bundle of, ugh. So it's the same when I was writing the book. I was like, I just don't want to do that. And I had to be very specific because you're going back into the energy. You're sitting in that energy, and then it opens, and then I always feel much better when I've done it.
Yeah.
But it's like I had to have to sit in that space in order to allow it, which is the same thing with healing. It's not always comfortable, which is where the crystals really, really help, because they're neutral in their own right, in that there's just a consistent buzz. There's a consistent theme, and working with them before the shit hits the fan is absolutely crucial, because if you grab for something in fear, you're not going to feel grounded by it. If you're working with something, you're integrating it. That's why, again, come back to this friend thing. I know that piece, however I'm feeling, is going to anchor me in joy or confidence or love. Like, I wouldn't ring up a friend who shames me on things if I'm feeling sad.
I get that.
Well, you shouldn't have that friend.
You shouldn't ring up a friend that's shaming you at all. But
you know what I mean? Sometimes you can
totally.
get tough mirrors with people, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you need a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But often you're doing that to yourself. So you need the Mother Earthing vibration to hold you in that space.
Do you have to believe in it for it to help you?
Depends what you're believing in, doesn't it? Because there's a million things. I was listening to something actually really interesting over the weekend, which is like, there's a corporate world and a spiritual world, but then there's just like the real world or the natural world.
Yeah.
And I really feel like it doesn't really matter what you believe in. It's more about the feeling for me. So if you feel something from it, great. Irregardless of religion and kind of belief, it doesn't matter. I once I got blessed in a Muslim church. This lady kept saying to me, "You have to go and have this done." And I was like, but I kind of, I'm not really sure. I used to have like bleach blonde hair, and I was like, I'll go after work. She's like, the sheikh's there, go do it. I rock up there, and they're like, well, what are you doing here? And totally rightly so, just an absolute random woman just tottering around their space. I was like, I'm here to see the sheikh. Or I didn't know it was the sheikh at that time. I was like, Nazim, I'm here to see Nazim. They're like, there's no one here called that. Blah, blah, blah. This young guy came up, and you could see I was feeling quite accosted by these kind of 20 big, strong male energies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And then he was like, well, no one knows Nazim, but the sheikh's like, you could go and have a blessing. I was like, oh, that's great, thanks. And then my phone starts ringing, and it's Nazim, and Nazim is the sheikh. And then everybody couldn't be like, do more for me to like, oh, right, you're allowed to be in that blessed space. So I have them receive my blessing there, and they invite me to pray with them, and it's absolutely beautiful, beautiful. Lots of things about it, obviously different and don't necessarily kind of like the conflict with me, but fundamentally all about love and beautiful. 2 years later, I go and do some crystal readings. I think it was in Harvey Nicks. And this woman comes over to me and goes, don't think I'm allowed to sit with you because my husband thinks you're a witch. I said, well, why don't he come over and talk to me? And then I explained to him I'd had this blessing, and then he let her sit with me. And it was just because if we just meet at that point and it's like collide and clash, we're never going to get anywhere. But if we get to the place and go, well, I completely can be in that space, and I really appreciate that, and I can understand your fear of it because it's what you've known, but that's not what I'm doing, and so they're boundary breakers too.
Yeah.
So it's what you allow yourself.
Yeah. It's the same with anything, isn't it? I mean, you can go to a therapist and not believe in a therapist or trust a therapist, and it's not going to do anything.
Right. But again, fundamentally, you're the one doing the work.
Yeah.
The crystals aren't doing the work.
Yeah.
You're doing the work.
And you have to have an open heart
Yeah.
in order to receive whatever it is you need to receive.
Totally.
This episode is sponsored by London Nootropics.
Okay, can we just talk about our new obsession, London Nootropics Adaptogenic Coffee?
Yes, these nootropic coffee blends are total game changers. I've been starting my day with Zen. I take it black, it zaps the brain fog, gives me clarity, and actually makes me feel on it.
I am all about flow. It gives me a little bit of caffeine lift, keeps me nice and balanced. No jitters, no crash, just calm, productivity. And can we also just say that the taste is amazing?
And it's all the good quality stuff properly sourced, like KSM 66 ashwagandha, Rodeo Life Rhodiola rosea, and potent mushroom extracts exclusively from Hifas de Terra, all with clinical studies, with each blend designed for a specific purpose depending on what you need to help you through the day.
They conveniently come in single-serve sachets, perfect for travel and made in UK, because the purpose of London Nootropics is to help you easily incorporate best-in-class adaptogens into your day deliciously, so we can bring them into the studio or take them with us when we're on the go.
And right now you can get 20% off at londonnootropics.com with the code SELFCARE. Try them today to experience how they can impact your focus, mood and energy and elevate your day.
If you've shopped online, chances are you've bought from a business powered by Shopify. You know that purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy? That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes it incredibly easy to start and run your business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/promo. Go to shopify.com/promo.
If you want to integrate crystals into your everyday life, like into your work or your sleep or your meditation, what would be a really kind of simple way for someone to go about doing that?
I really believe the bathroom's a really great place to start.
Okay.
Because it's the place where you're probably most tough on yourself, in front of the mirror or in the shower. It's kind of like very emotionally cleansing. So I always will say, put a raw rose quartz in front of, on your kind of dresser or in between you and your mirror. And it will start to, just like having those reed diffusers, it will start to kind of just integrate into the energy. I think sleeping with them, so to speak, is great because you're in a really relaxed state. You're allowing your mind to go into that kind of non-space. So put it under the pillow, put one in your hand, put it by your bedside. But play with them. Work with one for like 3 days, 3 to 5 days, and then change it. Or have a break, no crystal, then bring it in. Because otherwise, how do you know? But be really aware within that space of, how am I feeling? Checking in. That's what happens.
But the first stop is to obviously go and see Barry in Covent Garden.
Absolutely.
But if you're not London based, where are we going to get these lovely crystals for our bathroom?
So I think Etsy's great.
Etsy.
But ask questions.
What questions should we be asking? Where did they come from?
Yes, and also you'll get a feel. That's what I've really realised with the internet. Like, we've got to use these spaces. They're not going anywhere. We've got to use them in our favour. And there's some people doing absolutely brilliant stuff. The reviews say enough, I think, as well.
So we did crystal healing way back at the beginning of 2022. And I was just saying before we recorded that I was listening to that show. And I got myself into such a rabbit hole of research. Like, it went on for 3 days. I was up till 2 a.m. I couldn't stop. And then I got into like dog crystals for dogs. And I became obsessed with this citrine necklace, obsessed. And citrine is a yellow crystal, and I don't like yellow, and I never wear yellow, and it wasn't for me. And I was fixated, and I thought, till I see this lady who's going to do the practice, I'm not going to buy it. And we had the healing, and she did the whole thing, and she said, I just really feel like you could really do with citrine. I think it would be a really good stone for you. And I was like, oh my God, please look at my browser history. And I just freaked myself out, but I was so drawn.
What is citrine for?
Abundance, flow. People use it a lot for not necessarily like money abundance, but an abundance of love, of joy, of wealth, of natural prosperity. But it's also power, like personal power,
like coming into yourself.
Yeah,
it was extraordinary, but it was so clear. I was completely fixated with it.
This is how I was with my grandparents. It's that is the knowing. That often is the spirit push, which is like, go on.
That's the one.
But we're so conditioned from day dot that we must get this other, or to get this approval. Or we wait for somebody to say, well done, you.
You needed the permission. It's so interesting.
It is, isn't it? Because I wouldn't buy it, because I thought, there's no point doing this because it could be wrong.
Oh, this is citrine, actually.
Yeah, I have a citrine bracelet as well now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it? Do you have one that you go to for yourself if you feel a bit like wobbly or...
I really love pink tourmaline.
Okay.
It's a good grief releaser.
Okay.
So like, we're always letting so much stuff go. I think we're on this endless healing cycle, but it's one that kind of works in the background for you. But also like labradorite, because it reflects the inner heart's truth. And I have bazillions of them, and it's kind of like, I'll work with a pod for a time, and then for whatever reason, I just won't pick them up one day, and then I'll go on to the next. And then there'll be periods when I have none.
Yeah.
Even though I'm working with them. And I might not even work with them in like more of a lay down out session, because I'm like, there's so many different universal shifts, energetic shifts on the planet right now that actually they also need a break sometimes.
Okay.
That's interesting. I'm like that with gym leggings.
Yeah.
But you do get really into something. Obviously, they don't have the same energy as crystals. I'm aware of that. But I get very
I love it. They're comforting and they feel good. So it's the same.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Hate it.
Done.
Yeah.
I love that. What's the most surprising or funny story that's ever happened when a client's come to see you? Like, what's the thing that's most like amazed you?
I just feel like when we're doing the dowsing, I'm constantly aware of like how, because you've got your eyes closed and you're kind of tuning in like this, and I just keep going past. And I'm not feeling anything. I'm not feeling anything.
But they're always coming to the same stone.
What's happening when your hand's there?
Yeah.
Something. So that for me is that, or when people like you've saying, like I was drawn to that. I'm excited by that for some people. I'm excited for that for everybody actually. Like that for me is more than anything. Or when the crystal jumps off the table, like there's those moments too. But just seeing someone have a release or letting something go, or somebody who's been really kind of tight-faced with me and then just kind of the relaxing. That's kind of what I love. But working with kids with it is amazing. They do like big festivals and you put them on the table, they all just run, pick them up. Like we're all telling which one, because we've got limited choice. Or kids, it's that one, it's that one. That I love.
But they also are happier to go on an instinct or on an impulse. And I think we're so conditioned out of that when you're an adult, and you work within the rules and the confines, and you lose that sense of impulse. So I can see how we limit ourselves and also don't trust our instincts for things anymore.
Totally. But they're also great at putting them down, going, no, I actually don't like that one, I prefer this. And I'm like, I love that. Because we're a bit like, I've got it. Should I? It's like, so you can have more than one. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can carry 5.
Yeah, And our last question that we ask all of our guests, what do you do for your own self-care?
Interesting.
Apart from crystals.
Apart from crystals.
Yeah, the dog.
Yeah.
The dog.
Yeah.
Dogs are self-care. They just are. Just are.
I'll go off to a float tank. I'll do a load of Kundalini yoga.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Lovely.
But equally, I have a psychotherapist. I'm so intrigued about everything, but I also just love watching film.
Yeah.
So actually I'm quite good at looking at myself.
But that's amazing.
I need to push myself more into
Why should you have to?
Yeah. Good point.
If it works for you, it works for you.
Don't make it wrong. We love that you look after yourself.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
such a rarity. It's a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Thank you for that. Emma, thank you so much for being here.
It's been lovely.
It has been lovely, and we are so excited to come and see you.
I'm ready for you.
Which we are going to report back on. If the listeners, which I'm sure they will, want to come and find you, where can they find you and more of your work?
I on the old website, on the Tinterweb, so www.emmalucy.com, or Instagram. So I am .emmalucy.
Emmalucy.
Get the dot in there.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you again for being part of the club. This has been fascinating.
Thank you.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an Enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Hilton sale is on. For 10 days only, you can save up to 20% on stays this fall and beyond. Don't wait. The sale ends September 29th. Book your stay and save at Hilton.com. Terms apply. Hilton, for the stay.
She was amazing, wasn't she?
Yeah, and that was quite... I mean, that interview was unexpected.
That story, I did not expect her to come out with that story.
It blew me away, that story.
She blew me away. I just found her totally fascinating. I loved her whole energy, her whole vibe, and I liked her the second I laid eyes on her. She is a complete cross between, I kept telling her who she looked like, didn't I? Between Olivia Attwood and Jennifer Lawrence.
I wasn't feeling that, but you were very strongly feeling that.
She looked so much like, she reminded me so much of Jennifer Lawrence when she came to the studio.
I know what you mean. There's an element. I know what you mean. But you felt it stronger than me.
I really did. And then when we met her at her house, she was Olivia Attwood.
So we went to a reading at her house. The most incredible space. A room full of more crystals than I have ever seen in my life. It was like being
Aladdin's
in a cave. Yeah.
It was Aladdin's cave of crystals.
Oh, it was
That's
so
exactly what it was.
Beautiful, with this view onto the river, and my eyes were everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like trinkets everywhere.
It was
But as the
stunning.
minute you walked into our home, there were crystals everywhere. I went to the toilet, obviously, when we got there immediately.
Obs.
And there were crystals all over the downstairs toilet. I could have stayed in there for an hour.
I know, it was like rich for the senses. That's how I felt.
It was lovely. And then when she took you into that room, her crystal room, obviously where she works, I guess her office, it was just beautiful. There was a real special energy in there.
So if you're a long time follower of Self Care Club, you may remember when we did crystal healing before. It was at my house. A lovely lady called Alice came and did the reading, and then yours was quite rudely interrupted by my family having a meeting about pasta in the hallway outside, and then some conversation.
Right.
Ollie was
right.
like, "Where's your mother?" And Zach was like, "Oh, there's some crystal woman here. I mean, she believes in all this nonsense, so we indulge it all." And then you and Alice started laughing because you could hear the whole conversation. Right?
That's right.
This was a bit different because that was more of a healing. So the crystals were placed on our bodies. We were lying down. She was in tuning kind of our chakras, I guess, and what needed clearing and what needed strengthening.
Emma Lucy does do that.
Yes.
She did say that she can do that as well. But this wasn't that. This was more of a reading.
Yes. A general reading and
what
insight.
As she said, we went in there, we spoke for a few minutes. We sort of all orientated ourselves. And then she asked us to pick a crystal on
3 crystals
that we like the look of.
Yeah.
Which we did.
Yeah. So different. Our choices obviously
I mean, mine were big and bold and,
jagged.
Yeah. And yours were very neat and clean and subtle.
Grouped together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We both grouped together.
Yes.
Actually.
So she kind of intuned things about us.
She just told us about the crystals.
Yeah.
And then you can make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Right? She
I
told
mean,
us about what the crystals represent.
Yes.
What they mean.
Yes.
What their purpose is. And then you kind of match that up to what's going on in your life at the time.
Yeah. And then we chose 3 based on how they felt, the feeling, the physical feeling of them. And again, we chose so differently.
Yep.
And then we did another one where we had to close our eyes and hover our hand above this huge table, which she had covered in so many different types of crystals, all shapes, all sizes, all colours, until we felt the energy of one and our hand stopped, until we felt drawn to one.
Which she said, what did she call it in the interview? It's not saging. There was a name for it. She mentions it in the interview.
Don't know. Anyway, I feel like you picked one and I picked like 3 or something. And then we had to pick one that we were repelled against, that we really didn't like. And what she read into both of us, I would say, was very accurate. When she was describing us and our personalities and who we are and how we move through the world and what we could work on and what we need a bit less on and what we need a bit more of. It's very boring to sit here and share it all with you because it's all very personalised to us. But it was very accurate, right?
Well, what was interesting, it was accurate. It was interesting that we were having a reading together, which we've never done.
No.
Every reading we've ever had has been separate.
Yeah.
So that was quite interesting because naturally, obviously, we're in each other's energy. So it lent itself much more towards work and the professional side of things than it would
in our personal
lives and our families.
Yeah.
I think if we were on our own, the reading would have been different.
Maybe.
We would, because we both bring something different to the space.
Yeah.
It's just different. Not right or wrong, just different. She did say, I mean, did you have like something that you walked away with? The thing that I walked away with was that I really questioned was about my need to drive forward and push forward. And there was sort of like this, well, maybe you should not do that so much.
She kept describing you as being in a tank, an army tank.
Yeah.
And kind of bulldozing your way through being in this tank, pushing. And she was like, the things that are meant to come or the things that are happening, just let them. Or if they're not meant to be, don't push for that because that's not what is supposed to be coming. It was interesting because, because both of us were in the room and with you and I, there is always a yin and a yang. she was kind of saying you were coming into your feminine, I was coming into my masculine. And she was saying whoever was talking to her, the guides, the crystals, the spirits, whatever you want to call it, the energy was saying to you, go into that, pull back. And to me, the opposite, go forward, say no more, be more bold, be more pushy, say yes. Which was quite interesting because it's always in balance, isn't it?
It is a balance. And I'm not sure I hugely agree with that. I'm not. And that's the thing with readings. I mean, she was bang on, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't mean that I have to you don't have to take someone's, you can take from it what you want.
Very much.
And you should take from it what you want and what resonates with you and what doesn't. And actually, I've really taken that on board and really thought about it and really figured out, how does that sit with me? I don't want to be passive. Like, the thought of being passive in my life and just allowing and waiting and letting, and it sits so badly with me because to me it's just wasting time. I just don't want to do that. It's just not how I choose to move through the world. And I don't think I push myself into things that are not my place, or I don't think I'm ever inappropriately pushy. I just don't think I am. I think I push for the things that I want, and I do it in a way that is helpful and useful to me, rather than it being putting me at a disadvantage. But it's good because it made me think about it and it made me question it, and it made me figure out, where am I with that? And actually, I'm good. It's taken me a long time to be able to push. It's taken me a long time to be able to fight for the things that I believe in and to stand up for myself and to say, no, that doesn't work for me. Yes, that does. Yes, I'm going in that direction. And I refuse to back away from it. I like it about myself. So that was my takeaway.
You're very much a person who, when I think about you and your energy, it moves.
Well, I have to move. Generally, I have to move.
And it's and often things we do that are completely unrelated to this come back to moving, not stopping, not sitting, not. And I always wonder why. Like, you know, when things come up again and again, and the same things always come up for me. It's always the same things. And it is interesting.
Yeah. So that was my big takeaway, which I'm grateful for because it allowed me to question it. What about you?
It's nothing that I kind of haven't heard before. And I think you were quite enjoying a lot of the things that she was saying to me.
I was, yeah.
Why were you?
Because I felt the same. I think it is time for you to push forward and put yourself first and not worry about everybody else, or just worry about you and prioritize you and the things that you want. I think that is something that is, I think it's your time to do that. And that doesn't mean that I'm right. That's just my opinion as your friend.
And likewise, I find that tricky to sit with, because to me, when I think about moving through the world like that, I always feel it's selfish, how selfish. And so that's a big thing for me. Like, stopping the concept of you standing still, or, you know, not driving forward in something, or not moving through or moving in a forwards direction, just being in it. It sits uncomfortably with you. That also sits a little uncomfortably with me. And again, it doesn't mean that that's right or wrong for either of us. It's just kind of how we are. And it was quite interesting because we're sort of coming up to doing this live show, and I'm very, very worried, anxious, scared, fearful of the whole thing. And she was saying, well, that's because of your energy. That's because of who you are, because you give something, you give a podcast, you do a show, you do something, and it takes a lot from you. It drains you. And that's why you kind of don't like to do it. I don't know if that's what it is, but that was how she kind of described it to me.
Well, did that resonate?
Yeah, I always feel like when you're on, in inverted commas, switched on, it's quite tiring. It's tiring. It's tiring. And you know what we do when we're doing a podcast, when we're doing a show, when we're presenting, when we're giving a talk, we're switched on, right? It's similar to being on a stage or being an actor. So you are very much yourself, but you are kind of an exaggerated
or performative version.
A performative version of yourself. Whereas when I'm alone, or I'm not doing this, or I'm just at home, I'm actually quite quiet. I know that people find that quite hard to believe, but I am actually quite, internally, I'm actually quite a quiet person. I like a lot of solitude and I like a lot of silence, and I'm very into that. So it's not, although it's very fun and it does feel natural for me to do all of this, there's a conflict. So,
well, it's balance.
Yeah.
You have to balance it.
So I did find everything she said very, very interesting and true and accurate, and I think it gives you a lot of food for thought. And also, you and I were not coming to her in a time of crisis or huge change or huge flux in our life. So I think I can see how if you were in a time of crisis or something very acute was going on for you, how it might be very grounding and healing to have someone go through this process with you and kind of look at the details of who you are and what's serving you and what isn't, and what might help you to move forward in a happy way.
I really loved, we've had a lot of readings over the years, and I really loved the process of this.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I really loved the added element of the crystals and how much it brought up. It was really fun and really pretty and really aesthetic, and it just felt very special.
Yeah, it did.
And I think I got a lot more from it than I did the time we did crystals. It was completely different.
It was totally different.
That was a healing. This was a reading.
I had a very visceral reaction to that. I felt really, really sick halfway through it.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then after the reading, she said, "This has never happened to me before, but halfway through your reading, I started to feel really sick." And I was like, "Oh my God, me too." It was very weird. It's just nice sometimes to have someone else who has no skin in the game to reflect things back at you that you wouldn't necessarily think yourself, or that your friends wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's very true here. She didn't say anything that I was surprised to hear. She didn't say anything to you that I was surprised to hear, and I'm sure you feel the same about me. Whether or not we choose to take it on and bring that into our lives will remain to be seen. But I've very much enjoyed it, and I really like her. We have met a lot of facilitators, a lot of healers, a lot of this kind of thing, and she's exceptional at what she does. She really walks the walk, talks the talk,
and she understands people.
She's very good at it.
Yeah.
She's not just paying it lip service. She really does live by all the things that she said in the interview. I
think because we've done this for so long and we've met so many people, we know almost on meeting, on instinct, if it's right.
And listen, clubbers, there have been people that we have worked with that we have never released episodes on because it's been such a farce, or it's been utterly ridiculous, and it's just a bit insulting to the practice itself. So we just didn't bring it. We scrapped the shows. We're also not in the business of tearing down people. That's just not what we do here. So we've never released the content and we've never spoken about it. But this woman really knows her stuff. She really does.
And I think if it is something that you are drawn to, or you're interested in, or you're curious about, it's a really lovely thing to go through. There's nothing malicious or negative about the experience. It's quite uplifting.
It's different to like tarot cards or something where they're like predicting the future. This wasn't that.
No.
This is the crystal you've chosen. This is what the crystal represents. What does that mean to you? It was very interesting.
Maybe we'll play a very short snippet of our session so the clubbers can get an idea of kind of how it was.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, then what this opens up to, and I'm really pleased that you did take that piece, because this is great. This is an aura quartz. It's quite spectacular. It basically blasts through the aura, so it cleanses the signal that you're sending out to the world. I can work with loads of people. Take, for example, a woman who is kind of like done all her work, but she's still attracting the absolute arse in the relationship. And I'm like, somewhere in your auric field is just this tiny fingerprint, ever from this lifetime, past lifetime, where you've got so much love that you just want to give it. And then this person's coming into your life, and in their auric field is this fingerprint that says, I'm just going to take from whoever's got more. And when those energies meet, it feels like soulmate connection, and it's not. It's like kind of karmic. It's until we clear up that fingerprint. And for me with you, it's that case of like, just because you can give enough doesn't mean that you have to. And that's kind of like, you're going to be able to give more when you give it to yourself in larger amounts. So I'm not just talking about self-care, I'm talking about projects, I'm talking about the vision, I'm talking about going for it.
Okay.
It's exciting. That's just in your first 3, so that's where we are.
Interesting.
Now what we have here is again, you're both quite similar in the fact that you both kind of like to keep it all together. So you've also got these incredible kind of extremities to your energy. You kind of nucleus, you're kind of this orbit in which you work is really fantastic, because you're kind of really good at holding center, and you're really great at going so far out. And I love it. But equally, there is a little bit of caution within you now, where you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to come back. And you kind of needed to come and take in your harbour. And this is where you kind of balance each other in this lovely soul relationship. But I feel like now it's the time for you to let it go and let's get wild again, because that's how this all started. There was no fear of risk.
Yeah.
There's no kind of, nobody gets to tell us what to do, and if we don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. So we need to
I just feel that more than ever, though.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Good. And it's time to honour it. We need to give those things space. So the first piece you picked was orange calcite. Orange calcite is all about power in our belly. It's about having this fire. And you've really always had quite the direction that you knew in which you wanted to take it. In fact, it was a little bit too one-directional is what they were saying to me. And now you're starting to work a little bit more like a northern star, which is that everything's coming at you from different angles. The thing I would like to ask of you is just to kind of keep an eye. It's not your kidney health, it's your life force. It's your chi. You've got to think, when you are working, you're not just giving yourself, you are now moving that divine life force through you. You're really great at putting yourself on the front line, whether it's in a fight or if it's in a kind of like something you believe in, or it's the tenacity, but you are quite literally giving every drop of yourself. And Spirit's saying, hey, like Mother Teresa didn't do all that on her own, right?
That was our show on crystal healing.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it. If you want to be in touch, we always want to hear from you. hello@theselfcareclub.co.uk.
That's the one.
Yeah, you looked confused for a minute there.
I was just thinking, is that true? Yes, it's true.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And we will be back next week with a brand new episode of Self Care Club. We're back every Monday with Self Care Club and every Tuesday and Thursday with Fortier. So go check that out.
See you soon.
Bye.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with AutoQuote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.